uh, excuse me, from some other events we did together. And I want to share the most intimate elements of these challenges, these struggles. I don't ever remember myself in such a dramatic moment, in such an emotional situation with my family, with our yeshiva, with our community here in Israel, and with our friends and the Jewish community abroad in America, in South America, in Europe, all of the dear friends that I've been talking to throughout the past 3 weeks have been so shaken, so troubled. Not once we were on a phone call and we had no words. All we had were tears to share together. What I would like to share this evening are those intimate experiences that are actually very mundane, very natural in these 3 weeks that we have been going through. But these experiences are so crazy, are so not normal in the regular reality that we were used to in the past, and actually in the reality that we're praying for and that we're hoping and doing the best we can to finally get and accomplish. I'll start from my own experiences as a father, as a husband, and as the Rosh Yeshiva who heads the Steinsaltz Yeshiva in Tekoa in Israel. And I want to share these very personal experiences with my dear family, because for the first time, I think, it's clear to so many different Jews around Israel, and it's clear to so many different Jews around the world that we're one big family. It's not about some survival that we need to help each other. It's that we're actually brothers. It's actually even more than that. Rabbi Steinsaltz would always refer to the Jewish people as one big body, Knesset Israel. And it's the right hand that needs the left hand. It's the Jews in Israel that need the Jews in America. It's the Jews in America who need the Jews in Israel, because only then we could actually be one full body. I want to share first those very complicated experiences. Having my daughter, an 8-year-old daughter, as she's going to sleep at night, she asks me, Abba, right, the good people always beat the war, they always win. So if the good people win, why do the bad people, why don't they become good people as well? I looked at my daughter and I had no answer. I then continued to my son, a 10-year-old son, who was playing the whole day with a brand new good friend that just came to Jerusalem from the south because his family wasn't able to continue living in their house down south because there were sirens all the time. And they were miserable. So they had a very sweet family from America who gave them the Airbnb apartment right next to us for free. So they've been playing the whole day soccer, and a very, very sweet boy. But then when he comes back home, my son, he can't fall asleep. He's in bed for hours because he's afraid there's going to be another siren here in Jerusalem. And I come to my son and I say, you don't need to worry. You're in your house. We'll be okay. But it doesn't help, because those sirens for those little boys, they're really a nightmare. So he says some Tehillim, and he says some more Tehillim, and he's still awake. He still can't fall asleep. He only fell asleep, I think it was 11:30 at night, when I was sitting next to him learning. I was preparing a class for the next day for the yeshiva, and that was when he finally fell asleep. The last episode I want to share with you guys was with my 15-year-old son, that I drove him out to a Shiva visit. He went to a Shiva visit of a dear friend of his from his class that lost his brother on that terrible Simchas Torah day, that was killed down south. A very, very brave soldier who saved many, many other people. But he didn't make it. And my son asks me on the way to the Shiva visit, Daddy, he was there in the car together with his friend, another 15-year-old. He asks me, I've never been to a Shiva visit. What am I supposed to do there? What is it all about? And I didn't have any answer. I told him that, it says in the Jewish books, in the Shulchan Aruch, that when you enter a Shiva visit, you're expected to be silent and listen and let the Avel, the one who's mourning, to open up and try to be as close and gentle. But I didn't have a good answer, because a 15-year-old is not supposed to be going to a Shiva visit of his friend from his class. I want to go over now and share some stories from the yeshiva. In the yeshiva, it's been very challenging. Out of the 75 students we have in the yeshiva, approximately 20 boys now. All of the rest have been called into the army, the front lines. I hope soon we'll have some of those soldiers join us and share with us some of the stories. The 20 boys that are in yeshiva, they're the younger boys, the Shir Aleph and the Shir Bet, the first and second years. They just started. It was just the beginning of the year. They don't really know how to take charge, take responsibility. But there are no teachers in the elementary school in Tekoa, because all the males were called out to the army. So they came to us, to the yeshiva, and asked, can you please help us out and teach the students in our elementary school? So I suddenly have my students from the yeshiva teaching in the elementary school, being the old responsible boys of the yeshiva, and there are only 20 boys. And that's not all, because they're dorming in trailers. That's in Tekoa, out in the almost Judean desert. That's something that happens a lot. You're all invited to join us and take a look at it next time you come to Israel. But those trailers aren't the safest place to be, not if there's a siren, and not if there's a terrorist attack. Some of the mothers don't feel so secure over there. So some of them don't even join us, and they actually stay home and study on Zoom from their homes. But I want to end with a very sweet story, because I think all of these stories are stories of people who are struggling, of children who are struggling, but they're succeeding. They're succeeding in this war, because I think this war is not just a war in the front lines of Gaza or the front lines of Lebanon. We all are in the front lines. I think we all are struggling. When I say all, I mean it not only in Israel, in America, in Europe, Anti-Semitism is something that we're all dealing with. This relationship that we have between us is a challenge for all of us. So this dear student of the Kollel, actually, just got married a month and a half ago. They still don't have time to have their honeymoon. We were dancing together on Simchat Torah, and then he was called into the army. That evening, he was on his way to the front lines of Lebanon. He wasn't able to come back home and visit his brand new wife. Ever since Simchat Torah, for us in Israel, it's a far drive from the Hermon, Mount Hermon, from Har Dov to Jerusalem, to Tekoa. But he can't. They need him there. I call him up Friday to hear how he's doing, and he actually wasn't able to answer me. He called me back later on that Friday, and he asked me, he said, I'm okay, but I'm worried about my wife. I need your help. I want to ask for you for a favor. I bought my wife a new necklace from somebody in Tekoa, from a boutique store in Tekoa that makes beautiful necklaces. Can you please pick that necklace up for me and bring it to Jerusalem so that my wife gets a present from me when I'm far away in the war? I told him, no question about it. I just received the necklace this afternoon, and I'm waiting to meet his dear wife and try to cheer her up a little bit and to together continue fighting this war with his brand new wife, with the students of the yeshiva, with all of those that are fighting out there in the war, with all of you guys in America, and Be'ezrat Hashem, with God's help, we will succeed much more than we can even imagine. L'chaim. I want to invite now two dear students, alumni, friends, Yechezkel and Hillel Aaron, who are now, if you can see, I don't know where their helmets are, but they're now in the army. They'll tell us a little bit about their own personal story. We don't have enough time to listen to each one of the personal stories of the people here that are joining us on the Zoom. But Yechezkel and Hillel Aaron, please let us hear your story. And of course, if there's any questions, please, you could write questions on the chat. I can't promise that we'll have time to relate to all the questions, but write the questions and we'll try.
So first of all, good night. Beautiful day. I don't know what's the time now.
By you.
In which time zone you are. Anyhow, we're very happy to be here with you, and not even to talk, but just to be together. It's so important. In those days, we feel the energy and the thoughts and the prayers, not only for the people here in Israel, but from people all over the world. The food that we eat, the clothes that we wear, are from people from Jewish people from all over the world, and it's so exciting to get boxes from Europe, from the US, from South America, South Africa. It's the feeling is
I can't describe it.
Yeah, I can't describe it, like what it's doing and what, like how much power it gives us. So first of all, about this is one point I want to enlighten, that we are not alone and we are here together. So thank you, thanks us, thanks for all our people, all among the world. So this is just one point I want to put the light on. I would say if I'll try to share just one. There are so many stories. Like every day here is like it's a whole tale. Um, what we do, let's speak first of all technically. What we do, we are in the Shomron, in the Samaria. Our unit, our specialized is in the West Bank. So I don't know if you hear at the news or not, but of course, all Israel is like leads up. Um, so we work days and nights, and we have each other. So we are our head is not only above the water, but like way above the sky, and we have each other, of course. Not first of all, I'm so lucky that I have Chesky with me since kindergarten, which is amazing. But also all the other soldiers. And I think there is something so special in the army that you grow up in a certain community, and then you go to certain schools and to a certain yeshiva, and you're in kind of a bubble. Each of us in his own bubble, and there is something in the army that you meet all kind of populations in Israel, and that's increased the feeling of achdut, of unity, that you meet also non-religious people, and people that just came from Russia in the past year, and people that from Yamans and Mizrahi and Ashkenazi, and secular people and super religious and from and this whole thing by itself, I think it's a miracle and something that we need in this time. And it's the best exposure of Achdut that I can have these days, and that gives me a lot of strength. And also we have our own humor already, and this is something like the happiness and the humor with all the the harsh news, and each of us know at least very close people who got killed and who have been in funerals. And of course it's we're in the new Holocaust of the generation, but still the ruach, yeah, the spirit of Am Israel, together with the break, with the pain, also increase and grow, and it's an amazing thing to experience. So I don't know if I can describe it with words, but if I try to share with you just one thing, it's this: the caring of each other, the helping of each other, and of course also we get a huge hug from people here with food, with cakes all the time, homemade cakes, and usually they said you go to the army, then you get in shape. I think in this war the situation is the opposite. I think I need to start a diet after the war will end with all the goodies we get. So Baruch Hashem.
So I'm joining all what Lauren said, and I want to add also my own perspective that the uncertainty, the Iva Daud, this is something that the most harsh in every in all the aspects. If we said about our own families, that my wife now she's far away, and she's went to her parents, and they're not in our house. So this is one sort of uncertainty. My job, I started an internship in a law firm, and I don't know what's going to be with that. And the job, everything is continuing in the office, and I'm a little bit stayed on the back. The missions that we have every single day, we wake up in the morning, and we don't know exactly what we're going to do. It's not like a regular mission that we do in the army. This is uncertainty all over the country. So we can start the morning here and finish it in a different base, in a different villages or different area with very specific missions that we did before. and everything is with a lot of tension. In the inside, like I mean, in our units, that everybody was very worried. So this is something that also harsh, and also the population that we're working with, the Arabs of Judah and Samaria. So this is also another uncertainty, and the family is not just my wife, and for sure also the uncertainty of the state. What's going to be with Israel for during the war and after the war? So in this is for me, this is something that is most difficulty, and we need to working with it, and it's a lot of avodat nefesh, working about the spirit, and working about the energy that we have to know how to control it and to working on it.
Yeah, I just thought about it. Last week we had like we've been sending for one mission, then it was changed at the middle, then like we've been running all around the whole day, and then at the night, like after a whole day, we had another mission, a full night mission, and like I got crazy. I said, like, if we knew it before, why we wouldn't prepare enough for the night mission? Why wouldn't you tell us before? Like, you know, like you try to do the best in one hand, in the other hand, you not always can do the best. Not everything depends on you. Then I thought about it, like during the night, we've been walking like in like between the like on the mountains, and in the night walking, you get a lot of time to think. No cell phones, a whole quiet.
In the middle of our village, very good
yeah.
opportunity for
this
thoughts.
This is my best meditation time. So I said that there is some point of bitul notification, notify, when you notify yourself, when you say, I'm giving myself to something bigger than me, which in a daily routine, it's something very hard to do, because I have my own life, and I'm a grown up, and I'm young, and I want to develop, and I want to do things in my life, and I have dreams, and I have goals to achieve. And suddenly life stops. You don't know when it will end, when you can go back to your home, to your job. I had like all my projects was canceled, it's in hold. I feel that like I get even more certain in what I do. But in the moment that I said, okay, now I don't have to worry, because they tell me to go here, I'll go here. They tell me to go there, I'll be there. The only thing I can control, and I have a responsibility on, is on my mode, on my on my mode, on my motivation, on my feelings, my emotions. If I feel bad, I can take my friend or go to the side and give myself, a shots of energy, of hope. I can ask my friend for a help, and this is something that I think I have responsibility for myself, and also for my surroundings. We've been speaking about it a lot, that there are broken people here for many reasons, and we also get breaks sometimes. But you can see how it influences the whole group, the whole unit. And I think in the first week, the first 2 weeks, the wave were like this, like up and downs, up and downs. And I think the more time passed, we understand that we are here for a long run, and it's going to be a long battle, wherever it will be. If it's in Gaza, Lebanon, West Bank, Samaria, whatever, we have to find a way how to hold our breath for a long run together, which is with each other. So of course we also play music and try to bring famous performers to perform here to us. and to make like unit activities. So I think that it's something that I spoke also before, but the uncertainty, the way I deal with it is with I don't know if I'm saying the right word. Please correct me. Like nullification, that I nullify myself, my dreams, my thing, and I say I let myself to dream bigger dreams, that bigger than me, that it's our dreams of the nation, of the country, of the people. So
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you.
thank you for
L'chaim.
listening.
Thank you. I want to invite Eli Bomel, a dear alumni of the yeshiva, and he's now on duty in Tekoa, and he did a couple amazing projects connected to the community of Tekoa. And please, Eli, go for it.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Ali Baumel. I live here in Tkoa, and I'm part of the yeshiva community, as we call it. I daven here every Shabbat, and we had our smachot here in the yeshiva. So we really, that it's part of my home. I wanted to tell you a little bit about what's going on here in Tkoa. So I don't know who visited here already, but as you know, we're not in the most, how would I say it? We have a few people surrounding us that don't really like us. And that has its challenges, especially in these times. Usually Tkoa feels pretty safe. The roads are pretty much safe, but these days, at least people walk around with the feelings that it's not the safest place in the world. Baruch Hashem, we're very happy that we've been quiet here so far, and nothing really happened. But we are taking all measures possible to try to make sure that nothing will happen here like what we saw a few weeks ago. Tkoa is we have some measures of security here, like a fence and cameras, but they're not on most of the border of the yeshuv. We've been raising some money. Some of you have helped us very generously, and we've been taking we've been fixing up the fence and making some new routes and putting in some more cameras to make sure we can do whatever we can. Additionally, we've raised some of the money went also for gear and stuff like that for the soldiers here in Tkoa. So really, we're trying to do what we can and open our eyes up. You know, a
Eli,
few weeks ago,
Eli,
yeah,
I need to interrupt. You forgot
yes,
a very important point. You did an
yeah,
amazing crowdfunding campaign
yeah,
for the security of Tekoa community. Within 36 hours, you raised over $170,000. And this is
yes,
thanks to dear friends and Jews around the world, literally. And it's thanks to that giving and that heart that is opened that you succeeded.
yes, and we can see it in many other projects like this around Israel. Millions of dollars, I think hundreds of millions of dollars were being raised in really no time for life-saving missions. And we try to do whatever we can here in Tkoa. Another small thing I want to talk about, Michael talked about what's going on in the yeshiva itself. So as he said, there's only around 20 guys, but the yeshiva was generously opened their hearts and facilities, and there's some soldiers that are their duty is here in Tkoa, and they're sleeping in the caravans here. And another major thing that really helped us here in Tkoa is the yeshiva let us use their kitchen. I'm in charge of that part from the army side here, and we've been for 2 weeks we've been feeding our soldiers here with food from the civilians here that live, and people were cooking for them, but that's becoming too much to ask. So we opened up here the kitchen again, and the guys are helping us. And we have here 70 soldiers in Tkoa that we're preparing 3 meals a day for them, and it's really heartwarming to see how good food and good people could make their time so much easier. So thank you. From my other hat, I'm saying that thank you so much to Yeshivat Tkoa for helping us with that. And as I said, we all understand this is not going to be a week or two. And we need to stay strong together. Jews from around the world and Jews from around Israel, and use our faith in Hashem Yitbarach to help each other. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we will, in a few months from now, we'll be in another different situation, and all of you guys should come visit. Be'ezrat Hashem. So thank you.
Thank you, Eli, and continue making delicious food he's a great chef, Eli.
Thank you.
I wanna now actually I can invite Yishai, who's a soldier now. Yishai came special from America. He was an ambassador in Arizona, in Scottsdale, Arizona, in the Beit Tefillah congregation. He just came there right before Rosh Hashanah and Simchas Torah. When he heard what was going on in Israel, he did literally the maximum he can to get his officer to have him join a fighting unit. He came back to Israel, and he's now fighting. He actually, as of yesterday, gave in his cell phone, which I guess means he's either in Gaza or on his way in. So we all pray for his success. He actually is also Yechezkel's dear younger brother. So Yechezkel, to life, l'chaim tovim, for him and for all of his friends and soldiers that we love so much in Gaza. And he sent us a sweet video of him just before they went into Gaza. So please, Ariel or Emmanuel, share it with us.
Hi guys, how are you? Hope you're doing well. So Rabbi Falk asked me to speak a bit about what's happened with me in the past 3 weeks. So after I arrived to Israel, I joined a combat engineering battalion as a squad commander. And as you can see, we are here in the armored vehicle now. We are somewhere in the south. I can't share exactly where, but we are part of a very strong brigade. I just wanted to share that the Israeli spirit and the Jewish spirit here are very strong, and people, alongside the sadness, are very determined and full of resilience and know what we need to do. And one of the components in our faith is to know how strong is the support that we are getting from you in the diaspora in general, and for me specifically from the people of CBT. I can see all the good deeds that you are taking upon yourself and all the beautiful initiatives that's happening in the congregation. I can see it in the social media, and also Rabbi Alush is sharing with me. And I just want to say that it's not taking for granted, that it's very meaningful for us to know that in a long distance there is such a close family. That's the CBT congregation and all the Jewish community abroad. And keep up all the good activities and all the amazing things. And just wanted to finish to say that I came as an emissary to CBT, and I went back to Israel as an emissary, but now off CBT to the IDF. I'm really feeling that I'm like representing CBT in the IDF now, and B'ezrat Hashem, see you all soon, and keep in touch. You can find my Israeli number, you can ask Moshe, and see you as soon as possible.
Wow. L'chaim for Yishai. I miss that boy a lot. And I hope they should have a lot of hatzlacha, a lot of success. Because they're the sweetest boys. He went in together with a couple other boys. And some of them just got married also. And one of the cool things was that their battalion joined another battalion. The battalion Gdud 13, the 13th of Golani, which had a terrible disaster, what they had on Simchat Torah. And our students from Shiur Daled, the 4th year, are serving in that battalion. And luckily, they were in yeshiva for Simchat Torah. So they were saved. And one of those dear students that's going to be together in Gaza, together with Yishai from our yeshiva, is Hillel Cohen. And I want to invite Raya Cohen, Hillel's mother and good friend also. Please share with us, how's it to be a mother? When I think of you mothers, I think that is probably the most challenging. That is the real front of the war. Please, Raya. You need to, you're on mute. Beautiful.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Raya Cohen, married to Moshe. We have 9 children. The oldest is 26, the youngest is 10. And we live in Talmon, which is a settlement in the Binyamin region. So I have my son Hillel, was like Rabbi Falk said, he's in the 13th battalion in Golani. And thankfully he was in the yeshiva in Simchat Torah. He's in the army now, and as of last night, he told us he'll be without his phone for a while, which means he's either in Gaza or will be there soon. God bless him and everyone there. I have a son-in-law in the army in the north of Shomron, Samaria. So my daughter is here with us. I have another son in the yeshiva, and he spent some few days since Simchat Torah. He's he's a medic. He
volunteer. He volunteers as a medic.
Sorry, forgot the word. He volunteers as a medic. So he went down to the south, to the southern towns to help there. And if Rabbi Falk will let him, he'll probably go again. So I would like to describe a few things of how our life has been since Simchat Torah. So it's very interesting. First of all, it's very mixed up. And I feel like a lot of the things that the students have said before, I agree totally. I feel like there's big truths. The big truths of our lives have become very clear and very strong. And one of the most ones is that we're one family. Like Rabbi Steinsaltz calls it. He says it's Mishpachat Yaakov, the family of Jacob, our forefather. And it is so strong, the feeling, it's tangible. And I'll tell you a very small story, and there's so much more, and you are part of it also. Thank God we were able to visit our son on Friday. It was sudden. We didn't know that we would be able to, and we went there because there was a group of Chabad of the North Shore next to Boston, and they brought a lot of stuff for the soldiers. And since we were there a few years ago, so we came there also, and we got to see our son Hillel. When we were leaving, there was a cab driver that stopped right next to us, and he said, "Did you come to visit your son here?" They're staying in a school, in an elementary school in Netivot. That's where they were on Friday. They've moved since. And we said yes. So he said, "I live right here. This is my name. I'm Shimon Cohen. Tell him he could come here. The house is open 24/7. He could take a shower, he could eat, could whatever he wants. He's like my son." So that's one little tiny thing of the amazing things that are happening around us. And it feels like we're in the midst of something enormous that's happening. Like Jewish history had made a leap to our next stage, and we're all in it together. So in the daily life, it's like all mixed up together, these big things and the daily things. I try very hard. I still have young children in the house, so I try very hard, to stay cheerful and to make nice meals and to have a good feeling in the house. I feel like that's crucial for well-being and being able to deal with all the uncertainty and we don't know what's going on. There's also, like in Tekoa, we have villages around us that we know they don't like us, so we know what they want to do. So that adds to the stress. So I've spoken, and of course, all around me, I have many nephews in the army in the north and the south. All around me, my neighbors have 1, 2, 3, 4 sons in the army. Their husband is in the army. So I spoke to my friends here, and we're all experiencing similar things. And one of them is that there's just ups and downs during all the day. It says there's a pasuk. It says Sheva Yipol Tzadik V'Kam. The righteous falls and gets up 7 times. So I feel like that's what's happening now. We fall into the fear and we don't know what's happening. And my son-in-law, everyone that I know. And then we get up again and we pray, we say Tehillim. I cry a little bit. And we're back into the trusting of Hashem and like I forgot his name said, it's a lot about surrendering and realizing that it's not in our hands, and Kadosh Baruch Hu is taking care of us. And with all the awful things that happened, there was a great miracle that happened here, and he saved Medinat Israel. He saved us all, and so I feel it's all like very all mixed up together. So I'm also hoping and praying, and I'm sure that there are great things coming to us. And I invite you all to come to us during or after the war, and Be'ezrat Hashem will all rejoice together in the big miracles that Hashem will send us. Hopefully we'll see them in our own eyes. Thank you all for being here.
Raya, thank you. L'chaim to Hillel and to
Amen.
To all Shlomo. And Shlomo, and to all of those dear soldiers of ours, and to all the Jewish people that need that extra l'chaim now, and good health, and thank you. Just before we're gonna end with some prayer, I just want to ask all of us. On Shabbat morning, there's a prayer that I just happened to, you open up the Siddur, and it's, if anybody here was lucky to see Rabbi Steinsaltz, how he prayed, he would open up the prayer book, the Siddur, and he would open up almost like a new novel that he's going to read for the first time. And you look at the different prayers, And there's suddenly one prayer that strikes you. So there was one prayer over there that on Shabbat morning we say, Ha'aderet va'emunah, which is right at the beginning of Shacharit. And what struck me was the phrase Ha'oz va'anava, the courage and the humility. Rabbi Steinsaltz, many times, he loved that piece. He said that it's all full of contradiction. And because of the contradiction, it's l'chai olamim. It's to the Almighty. The Almighty is the contradiction. But I felt that nowadays what we need is the oz and the anava. The first very simple that we need is the courage. We need the courage of the mothers. We need the courage of the wives. We need the courage of the soldiers. We need the courage of the Jews around the world that their hearts are open and they're praying and they're sensitive and they're caring. And they're struggling with their own anti-Semitism. And we need the courage of the young boys in the yeshiva, the young children in Tekoa that haven't seen their dad for so long. But at the same time, there's a very, very deep feeling that I think we need to stick to now of humble. This lesson was such an expensive lesson, and I still don't understand it. And I think the ability to just listen with real anava, with pure humbleness, before we go out and cry and know what the truth is and what God wants from us, let's just listen together. Let's listen from around the world. Let's listen from Tel Aviv, from Jerusalem, from the south, from the north. There's so many different communities in Israel. It's so complex. And the past year was a nightmare. People weren't relating to each other as human beings anymore. And we're suddenly confused. We're confused in a good way. That's the anava. Let's listen. Let's try to open up our hearts, open up our mind, and ask ourselves, what is the next step? How can we connect better to each other? How can we connect better to God? How can we be better people? How can we make society a better place? That might, in some ways, come in contradiction to the courage, to the oz. We're going to fight. We're soldiers. But when it's connected to l'chai olamim, when it's connected to God, it works together. They help each other. When you're humble and you go to war, you're a better soldier. When you're a soldier and you then come to be humble, that's real. That's not fake. So I'm asking all of us, please, let's continue this togetherness, this warmth, this caring for each other. Let's listen and be sensitive to one another. And really, honestly, open our hearts and try to listen. Baruch Hashem, the yeshiva, we're strong. We're going to make it through. We're going to grow. But it's only thanks to you guys that are over there. I have here some dear friends that are calling me once, twice, 3 times a week just to make sure we're doing well, just to give us a good word, to cheer us up. That's amazing. I never expected such a relationship. Thank you so much. And I want to now please ask Judy and Carol, the 2 dear daughters of Lou Bravman, who actually his Yortzeit is coming up very, very soon. And it was Simchas Torah. That was the last day that the 2 of you were saying Kaddish on your dear dad, who was so, so close and dear to Rabbi Steinsaltz. Please, I think it's so appropriate that the 2 of you share with us the 2 prayers. We will say together the prayer that Rabbi Steinsaltz wrote for these challenging times. I hope Ariel will share it with us on the Zoom. And then we will also say the special prayer for our soldiers. Please, Judy and Carol, and again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. L'chaim.
Master of the universe, compassionate one, Lord of justice, have mercy and save your children who dwell in your land of Israel. Save them from the sword of their enemy, safeguard them from death, protect them from danger, and shelter them from fear. Send your light to mend the broken spirits of bereft orphans, of bereaved parents, of weeping husbands and wives, of grieving siblings, and of anguished friends who have lost those who are dear to them. Grant complete recovery to the wounded and the stricken, and give courage and strength, hope and vision to your people and to your land. Lord of justice, avenge us of the vile murderers, those who send them and those who incite them, those who lead them and those who help them. Punish our enemies all over the world who afflict and disparage us, whose hate knows no reason. Undo their plans of destruction, so that the nations will know that you avenge the blood of your faithful. Master of the universe, enable the nations of the world to remove the hardened hatred from their hearts. Shine the light of discernment on those who give credence to lies, and enlighten those who listen to libelous dogmas. Send the spirit of morality and justice into your world. Help humanity to build and to plant, to support the merciful in righting the ways of the world. Compassionate one, who is true to the covenant, the time has arrived for you to send the message of salvation and redemption to your world, to comfort all of your children, and to bestow upon them an era of peace and blessing, light and joy.
Thank you, Judy and Carol. Mishaberach for the soldiers.
Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, hu yavarech et chayalei tzva ha'agana liYisrael, ha'omdim al mishmar artzenu va'arei Eloheinu, migvul halvanon va'ad midbar Mitzrayim, umin hayam hagadol ad levo ha'arava, v'yabasha ba'avir u'bayam. Yitain Hashem et Oivenu, hakamim aleinu nigafim lifnehem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishmor v'yatzil et chayalenu mikol tzara v'tzukah u'mikol nega u'machla v'yishlach bracha v'hatzlacha b'chol maaseh yedehem yadber sonenu tachtehem v'yatreim b'cheter Yeshua u'be'ateret nitzachon v'chayam bahem hakatuv ki Adonai Elohechem ha'olech imachem lehilachem lachem im oivechem Lahoshia etchem v'nomar amen.
Amen. Thank you. Amen, amen, amen to our soldiers, and amen to all the Jewish people around the world. We will end with Hatikva, and please, please continue this connection with us. And if you have any hesitation, please don't. Phone calls, emails, we're here together. We need you guys, and I hope that you guys need us also. Ariel, Hatikva. Thank you, everyone. Laila Tov, and behatzlacha to everybody. Lots of success.
Lahitaraut, Laila Tov.
Bye-bye.
Amen, amen.
Thank you, everyone.
Too. Chizku v'imtzu.
Amen.
Thank you, Louis and Gaia.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Michal. Only good news.
Amen. Besorot tovot.
Amen.